Warrior, welcome. Have you ever gone throughout your day and wondered why I have anxiety? Like, why do I have anxiety? Why do I feel the way I do? And you have no idea as to the buildup of that sensitivity, that anxiousness. You're sitting there bewildered, trying to fight it off. Please go away, please go away. Or trying to utilize certain coping messages like, everything's going to be all right, right? You're healthy, and all that sort of stuff. Today, what I want to do is I want to input some really key information, some knowledge, some value to help you to understand how you consciously and unconsciously go about being anxious. But not only that, what I want to do is I want to fill you with where the window of opportunity lies to be able to get away from this anxiety and bring forth inner healing. When I'm talking about inner healing, I'm talking about more so being neutral, emotionally being neutral, right? Or even being pleasant. But let's also understand this. When someone's deeply sensitized, whether that's health anxiety or generalized or social or worries or stress or whatever it is, because all of these things, these disorders are interconnected, right? When someone's deeply sensitized, what they really want to do is they want to go from feeling bad to feeling good. How successful have you been trying to become that in the long term? Not very successful. So the process lies in your ability to go from feeling bad or a negative emotional state to going to neutral. And then by getting to neutral, opening up your mind, opening up your abilities, opening up your awareness and your flexibility to then get to a place of being pleasant. Does that make sense? So our goal isn't to go from bad to good and look for that magic wand, that one technique. Our job is to go from those negative states to neutral to then pleasant. So here's how it goes. You're going about your day, and A shows up. A. And when A shows up, A is a conscious or an unconscious awareness. Either something you recognize consciously in the environment, like, oh my God, Ted's walking towards me. I remember I made a fool of myself last time. Oh my God, it's going to happen again. You know, that kind of conscious awareness of something, a threat. That threat doesn't have to be based around your survival. The threat can easily be based around your social status, your reputation, financially, whatever it may be. But there's a conscious or an unconscious awareness going on here. And that awareness is based around the constant scanning that your system does. It's kind of like that old Terminator movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger's going about his day, and next thing you know, he recognizes something. So he scans the environment and he locks on to a target and says, that is bad. He must terminate that target. Kind of like your own system, right? You're scanning things and boom, there it is. So A is awareness, all right? You are aware of something. Either you know it or you don't know it. Either way, something's going on. B is either a surface level belief, all right, a conscious belief like this means that, Ted means danger, Ted means I'm going to make a fool of myself, right? Ted means very highly judgmental or energy vampire. I'm making a conscious decision, a conscious choice of what to believe here. Or it's a core belief. Something that is ingrained within your subconscious based around the pairing that you've created, right? This means that means that. And to give you an example of this unconscious pairing, let me provide a short story for you. I used to go year after year after year not being able to drink wine. Prior to those years, right, I was drinking wine, no problem. It was the exact same brand, same wine, same amount. Why was it that I was able to drink wine when I wasn't sensitized, but when I was sensitized, I couldn't even look at it. If I had a couple sips of wine, I knew that there was a panic attack going to occur the next day. Normally, it took me about a week to get over this. So it's important to understand that the pairing was created within me. Later on, as the human guinea pig for anxiety myself, I retested things, right? I drank a bottle of wine, I did all these crazy things just so I could prove how pairings create so much emotion within a person, so much fear. Many times, almost every time, it's not the thing that you're putting into your system, but the past experience that's created the pairing that's creating the emotional response. So again, B is that either surface level belief or the unconscious belief, which leads us to C, right? C is the emotional consequence that occurs depending on the pairing, right? There's a feeling that erupts. Feeling of anger, feeling of fear, right? Feeling of sadness, whatever it may be, there's an emotion that arises. Usually, right, we repress that emotion. We don't allow ourselves to feel it, which then makes us unhealthy. The healthiest people on the planet are the ones that allow themselves to freely feel what they're feeling. If I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry. I haven't invested in tissues, forget it, right? I'm going to cry. If I'm happy, I'm going to allow myself to be happy. I'm not going to walk by someone and go, don't be happy. They're going to think that you're an idiot. Oh my God, they think I'm a psychopath. Oh, and I went from happiness to sad. Oh my goodness. No. If I'm happy, I want to be like, hey, stranger, how are you? You having a good day? No response? That's totally fine. Have a great day. So those are the kinds of people, right, that are healthy. And why are you watching this video? So that you can get mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually healthy. So the emotional consequence arises. Here's where the opportunity lies. D is the window of desensitization. You have 15 seconds to answer the question that's put forth by the inner wounded child. 15 seconds after the emotion arises to respond to the question of, do we hold on to the same pairing? Mind blown. When I'm talking about the inner wounded child, I'm talking about the experiences when you were young, the conditioning that you were under, the behaviors that you recognized, the beliefs that people ingrained you with. When the question arises, do we hold on to the same meaning? You've got a 15-second window right then and there to make a change. But the truth is that so many people out there feel an emotion and they believe that the emotion is truth. The emotion is not truth. The emotion is, again, put forth by the inner wounded child within you, asking whether or not to keep the same association. How are you responding to the inner child? I bet you anything that with your own children, if you have children, if the child comes to you and asks you whether something should be feared, you respond in a very compassionate, loving way. Why are you not responding that way to your own inner child within you? I ask you that question. So what do you need to do within those 15 seconds when you feel something and when the child asks that question? Well, there are 3 convincers for change. 1 is the emotions. 2 is the physiology and what you do with your body. 3 is the conscious perception. This differentiates between thinking and remembering. Within the 15-second window, you must think. You must think. Just because you feel something doesn't mean it's the truth. So when you think about the situation, when you consciously begin to perceive the situation from a different angle, that's a convincer. When you fix your body in ways that goes against what your body really wants to do, when you do the opposite, that's a convincer. When you allow yourself to feel differently about the situation and you get to a more neutral place, that's a convincer. Those are the three things that are highly necessary for the inner wounded child to change what they believe within that 15-second window of desensitization. Do you understand this? I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to understand. Good. This leads us to E. ABCDE. E means that you have now educated the subconscious mind as to how it should respond next time. It doesn't mean that everything goes away. It doesn't mean that the fear disappears. It means that next time, it's going to get easier. The next time after that, it's going to get easier. The next time after that, it's going to get easier. To the point where you become disinterested in the old pairings. The inner wounded child is now feeling safe. The inner wounded child believes that the world is no longer a dangerous place. It doesn't have to tippy-toe from thing to thing, experience to experience. When the inner wounded child is safe, you as the adult in the present moment will begin perceiving the world completely differently. And when you perceive the world differently, your emotions change and therefore your actions change. The whole idea is to educate the inner wounded child, meaning the subconscious mind and body. Warrior, I love you so very much from the bottom of my heart. Comment below. Let me know what you gained from this video. Let's move forward together because you deserve it. You deserve it just like anybody else on this planet deserves to live in a world of inner peace. If you have any other questions on the End the Anxiety program or the Life Mastery program, head on over to this website right here. Remember, you are more than anxiety. Bye, guys.